Oi, oi, oi. Augie, Augie, Augie. What's up, everybody? Just chilling. I'm gonna show you some star forts and stuff here in a second. We'll talk about it. Just getting myself situated. Augie, Augie, Augie. What's up, everybody? How's your Saturday? Let me know if you can hear me. Oi, oi, oi. Maybe a little. I could turn it up a little bit, probably. Alright, we'll try that. Let me know if that is any better. Alright. I think we're in business. I think we are in business. Check, 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 check. Alright then. As you were. What's up, Penny Likey? Penny Like? Hope your Saturdays are going wonderful. I'm gonna pull this up here in a second here. We're gonna be looking into some interesting little rabbit holes I've been going down. I'm probably gonna make a little video on some of these things in the coming days. I think I'm gonna do more of this kind of format where it will be like me talking with the screen share, so that you guys can get kind of an idea of what I look like while I'm looking at these videos, or pictures, I should say. Alright, y'all. So this map that we're looking at here is something I thought was kind of compelling. Looks like it's showing Petra, Arabia, Dianetarium Radio. So like all these numbers. It shows the tribes of Israel as well, which I think is super interesting. The lost tribes of Dan and Ephraim and Benjamin. And then it goes around with these like pictorial descriptions, kind of showing you where these events in the Bible happened. So you can see these numbers kind of scattered across here, where it's like 1 is over here, and then 2 is right here, and then 3 on this little island, 4, 5, 6, and then it goes all the way to like 40, right? 41. So they end up in Jerusalem with 41. And 41 would be, I think over here. Wait, maybe I went the wrong direction. So yeah, you can see they show like these little metaphoric depictions of like scenes from the Bible. So like Exodus 2 CAP, whichever that means, or Exodus 5, Exodus 9, you know. So we can get a closer look at what's going on here. So you see this dude, I don't know what's going on with his foot, but he's with all these sheep. And then this guy's like kind of protesting this king over here who has like a man's head. And then he also has these native looking dude. And then this guy's got horns, which I thought was interesting. Like, what's that guy doing with horns? Go, Johnny, go, go. What's up, Charles? So, yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. Like this big old obelisk in the back. And this king over here, people keep giving him shit. Don't know what's going on in the back. It looks like it's snowing. Or maybe it's the mud falling from the sky and they're like loading it up. Kind of hauling it away. He's like kind of digging. This guy's doing something. But he's saying, look at these snakes. Look at these fucking snakes. Sean Connery says, take out the fucking snakes, mate. People all freaking out. They don't know what's going on. So now an angel comes down, right? And he's like, fuck that shit. He comes in there. He's like, he's not having any of that. And dude keeps pointing up at the sky. Something with the circle. X marks the spot. This one was weird. I don't really know what to make of this. So he's on some chariot. These people are getting buried. Looks very mud floody. Some type of war, maybe. It looks like they're kind of causing this reaction, like some type of technology. People getting the fuck out of there, though. But yeah, maybe some like hidden technology. I don't know what's going on with this big old thing covered. And there's like new water that's sprung from this side of the wall. Maybe I think this is a story from the Bible where they're talking about like Moses hits his staff against the wall and then like suddenly there's water or something. And this is probably the manna raining from the sky. Yeah. So here's Egypt, what it looked like back then. Egypt T. Pars. This is the Oasis Parva over here, whatever that means. Dionysus. Bacchus. Memphis. The pyramids. Like, I don't know what all these cities are now, but it's pretty crazy the amount of detail we get in the Pompeii. What does it say? Pompeii Sepulch. Pompeii Sepulch. But there's another map I found by this dude. And this shows like the Garden of Eden. Which I thought was compelling. Because they're like blowing up at the sun. Yeah, like all these animals are kind of coming out of the water. Rooster, a couple ostriches. I don't really know what to make of all this. It seems like a metaphoric description of Genesis. What I thought was interesting is these look like almost two women right here. Like she looks pregnant. She looks pregnant. I don't see a penis. I mean, maybe this is a dude, but there's some type of angel. And then like another dude. She's taking the apple. The snake is giving it to her to give to him. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm going to try to view this map in person this week. Because this is housed at my university library. I thought this was interesting, too. Look at, they're like these UFOs or spaceships or something in the sky. Look at these. What the frick kind of bird is that? Never seen anything like that before. Like, this is definitely a bird. This is definitely a bird. But what is this, like, squid creature over here? You guys ever seen anything like that before? Now, maybe this is the man, but I don't know why his belly is so circular. It looks like he's the pregnant one. She doesn't look pregnant at all. Isn't that weird? How, like, the roles are reversed. There's a unicorn, bro? What the fuck? I didn't see that. Unicorn. Wow. What's going on here? Seems like all the animals are kind of just chilling together. Like they're not eating each other. Nobody's fighting. So this is the Ten Commandments. Big old battle over here. Big old battle. Looks like the king is kind of getting taken over here. How many of you guys watched my my last video, the hour-long video of San Francisco's exposition? Anybody? Because I know that was a doozy. On my analytics, I could see that only about 15% of people made it through the whole hour-long video. So I probably won't be doing like super long format videos like that, since if only like 15% of people make it through to the end. Like, I guess I'd rather make a 5-minute video that a bunch of people watch than an hour-long video that takes me a month to make that half as many people watch, you know. Ramblin' Rammies, what's up, my dude? Hey, what's up, Lance? Yeah, we're just looking at these old maps right here. Just kind of showing this is just scenes from Exodus and I think Numbers. But this dude with the horns keeps giving me weird vibes, man. I don't know what his deal is. And you see all these little tents with their little antennas on top. Every single one has an antenna. So I think the focus of these antennas is functional, you know. I mean, I'm not the first person to say that, but I don't really know. I mean, you see any building nowadays, the antenna is the last thing they're worried about, you know. They're not trying to put up, they're like, oh, don't forget the decorative spire on top of the building. They're like, nah, like, make sure it is warm and can withstand rain, you know. But in these old, even on the tents, they're focusing on the antennas. So it looks like these guys got the biggest sack of grapes I've ever seen. These lotuses. There's trees cut down. Like, I don't know what type of like printing technology or lithograph maybe, with all these lines where you can almost like see the wood grain or like the cross hatching, but it looks very like robotic. Like, doesn't look like a human did it. It looks very computer generated. But yeah, you get all these tribes of Israel. If you guys know what's going on with these, I don't know why they would separate them if it's the same thing. Like, what is the difference between here and here? Or, like, here and here? It's a little bit taller, I guess. Or Ephraim, same exact thing. This one has, like, some lines. Different antenna. What about Benjamin? Benjamin, same thing, just different antennas. Asher, Elcher, After, different antennas. So yeah, it looks like they changed all these antennas, like the before, the after. This used to be a circle with the big antenna. Now it's just a longhouse. Yeah, like the house of Gad. 1, 2, 3. That's just 1, 2. This was another map I thought was interesting. This kind of in a different genre. But it shows North Pole, Asia, Turkestan. Quinzai, Quanzu, Rabana. So this is a great little quote here, because I made a video. I don't know if you guys watched my past San Francisco video or the one before that. I've made 2 of them. I might make a little series just on San Francisco, because there's so much going on in that fucking city. What's up, 10 people watching right now? So yeah, this says New Albion. Sir A. Francisco. You see that? It's not Sir Francis, it's Sir Francisco. Sir A. Francisco Draco, 1579. Ditki bis ab in colis codan di diadamat radimatis dacam ser regionum anglich conscravit, whatever that means. But yeah, it's like right in line with, you know, the general area of where San Francisco's labeled at, right? So I don't know why they would lie about this. Like, if this is showing up in a map and it's clearly labeled that, you know, Sir Francis Drake was right here where Saint Francis or Saint Francisco Draco is, you know, why would you lie about that? So that's just goes to show like one of the like another hole in our narratives, you know, because even in my past video, I don't know if you guys made it that far, but there's one section where I talk about the Sir Francis Drake Hotel, and it's quoted as in the St. Francis Hotel, right? And this is like, I don't know, it was made in 1900, 1920. And so they were still calling it the St. Francis Hotel then. And then when did it change over? You know, we'll Google it. So it's not even open, I guess. But you just see some of this structure established 1928. So I guess before this it was called the St. Francis Hotel, but still very very Tartarian, right? And they have like these weird guards out front. This griffin on his chest. Now, I guess Saint Francis was considered a Spanish, like a Spanish conquistador or something, or like he had like missions. Saint Francis of Assisi, right? But he was born in like the year 0 or 1200, right? So, yeah, what's up, Oz? Yeah, Drake equals Draco equals dragon. He destroyed the Spanish Armada. Right, so it's interesting that they would like, they just wouldn't want to give him credit for being there, even though it's like appears on all these old maps, right? October 4th. Saint of Animals. So yeah, but in that one video I showed, they like referenced that it was called the St. Francis Hotel. But I mean, you see right here, I mean, if this says Sir Francisco Draco 1579, and this map is from what? 1854, right? Supposedly. Oh, this is a remake from a 1595 map. It's a facsimile. Sir Francis Drake between 1577 and 1580. Removed from the world encompassed by Sir Francis Drake, being his next voyage to that of Nombre de Doigt, collated with an unpublished manuscript of Francis Fletcher, chaplain of the expedition. Whoa. We gotta look that up, huh? From Wiki, he discovered that Terra del Fuego, the land south of the Magellan Strait, was not another continent, as Europeans believed, but instead a group of islands. It meant that ships could sail between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans around the bottom of South America, later known as Cape Horn. Yep, true that. True that. But yeah, it's interesting that it's labeled as Terra del Fuego, right? Because Antarctica is not something you would call land of fire now. You'd call it land of ice. So why is it called Terra del Fuego on all these old maps with all this attention to detail placed on Antarctica? Why would you call it land of fire? Doesn't make any fucking sense. So this is from his chaplain, from Francis Drake's priest. So if anybody gets their hands on this book, that'd be pretty cool. So I made a video on this map already. The North Pole map. How was your Friday nights, everybody? I was playing a show. It was fucking bananas. It was fucking bananas. So this is another thing I'm going to show you. This is the city of Berlin, Wisconsin in 1860, I think. 1867. So this is bumfuck nowhere, Wisconsin, mind you. And this is 1867, and you already have these like big steel bridges. You have how many churches? 12. You have 6 churches, and there was the reason I looked into Berlin, Wisconsin, is that one of the people involved with the San Francisco World's Fair, who was from this royal bloodline, claimed that Berlin was his home, Berlin, Wisconsin. So I looked it up, and you know, they already have these like Victorian Tartarian mud flooded houses. So this is most likely rediscovered land. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting that like somebody from like Holy Russian origin would be claiming this as home. So these are just some pictures. Like, take a look at this. What is going on here, people? Some Antiquitech. That doesn't even look like it lines up. Like, yo, what's up, Michael? So this is 1860. Like, this is pretty fucking bustling, right? Wouldn't you say? All for middle of nowhere, Wisconsin. Like, this is... What's up, man? Some old world pics. Yep. And look at this shit. They had moving bridges. What the fuck? Look at all these people. What are they doing in the middle of fucking nowhere, dude? You know, this is the shit I just don't understand. How is this a bustling, fully built out city? What is this? You know what I mean? In the middle of fucking nowhere. In the middle of 1800s. It only has 5,000 people living there today. So it's not as though they had 50,000 people and they needed this fully built out crazy city. This is, you know what I mean? They got 100 people living here at most and they have all of this going on. So either they had way more people living there way long ago, which is what it appears to be. I mean, this looks old as fuck. And this is at least from 1900, if not earlier. So I just don't quite understand. Look at this, packed to the gills of people. There's at least 300 people here, just in the stands. Yeah, it does look like some canal system. Yo, what's up, Shulamite? What's up, Oz? What city am I in? Well, this is Berlin, Wisconsin, that we're taking a look at right here. And this is, look at these blocks, bro. Look at these blocks that they're hauling around. Like, what is going on here? I can't even, I mean, it looks like a quarry or something, but. So, I don't know. Just some of the old-ass buildings caught me off guard and seemed a little out of place to me. This is just the middle of nowhere. But we're going to take a look at some star forts here in a sec. 50, dude, yeah, at least 50,000 people would have had to live there to get these packed sporting events, these fully built out cities, like, and now there's, yeah, I'll pull up the Wikipedia page, bro, I swear to God. Berlin, Wisconsin. Population was 5,500 in 2010. Look at this. Like, it just smells like old Tartary to me. Like, all this brick. All these urns at the top. What are these urns for, people? Why do you need to have urns on every building? And just to give you an idea, like, so this is bumfuck nowhere, Wisconsin, bro. It's right there. So, there's like a couple 100,000 people who live here now. Right? And a couple 100,000 people who live here now. And there's 4,000 or 5,000 people that live there now. What was going on 200 years ago? Look at this, 1860, 1,500 people, bro. So, I just want to know who's building a fucking remote-controlled bridge in 1850 for 1,000 people. Post office. It was named Berlin after the capital of Prussia. Look at that. And now the capital of Germany. So the first church, 1851. So there was only a couple hundred people. So, yeah, I don't really know what to make of that, but love to buy a star fort, turn it into a flat earth museum. That'd be cool. Berlin is a trip. 5,100, right. Middle of bumfuck nowhere, dudes. So this, I forgot how I got here. Berlin. So I found this old map of the Southwest Territory in 1795. And This is, I think this is Tennessee, North Carolina. So yeah, Georgia is right here. This looks like, so this is like now, like almost southern Illinois. And what do we see right here? Fort Massac. Does that not look like a fucking star fort to you guys? In the 1800s. 1800s, they had a star fort. So then I looked it up, Fort Massac, of course, and this is what we find. Look at that shape. We seen it anywhere else? Look at that. Looks pretty damn close to me. And it's always in such a striking pattern, too. It's never just like, oh, we made a circle for it with a couple walls. It's like, no, we had to terraform the earth, bro. And of course, they just say, oh, they had wooden defenses. This is what it looked like. That's what it was. Just a bunch of wood. And that's what had happened. A bunch of people in coats with cannons. You know, but I don't think that's what was going on at all, bro. Seems like way too much effort for very little reward. Let's see if I can find anything else. Yeah, this is, look at this fucking photograph. This is what they say it looked like in 1920. So, I don't know, dudes. Look, and that's where it's at. So, you got a star fort over here. The fort was repaired after damage in the 1811 earthquakes. Decommissioned in 1812. What is this? The New Madrid earthquakes. You guys ever hear about this? Star forts are everywhere. Yep, Massac is a star fort for sure. Could there be a possible argument for the style of fort in coastal cities? It can be for defenses and... Oh yeah, I mean, I'm definitely open to the idea that these were just for defenses, but I mean, when you start looking into like some of the... Oops. Like just some of the ridiculous... Like, wall... Okay, you know what I mean? Like shit like this. Why would you... This is in the middle of fucking nowhere. Why would you build this? You don't need... What do you... like, and this pattern too, where it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 6 levels of... So I think it was probably some type of like resonance generator where it's like whoom, 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 and it uses the water in some way. Like this kind of thing. Where they have a star fort, and then another layer of star fort, and then another layer of star fort, and then another layer, and then another layer, and then another. So you have 12 layers of star forts, bro. Like, shit just seems a little ridiculous. So let's read about this earthquakes. Intraplate earthquakes beginning in momentum. Rocky Mountain. Mississippi River. Louisiana Territory. I'd never heard of these. New Madrid. So, yeah. Don't know what to make of that. We'll keep moving. Fort Massac. And then, I forgot who commented about this, but somebody said the Pyramid of France was worth looking into. So I looked it up, and there's very few pictures of this pyramid. But this was in France. This is France. Did you know that there was a step pyramid in France? Look at that. What? What the frick? And guess why they tore it down, of course. Guess why they tore it down? To build a freeway. You got it. This is what's there now. In Nice. Le Pavillon. And now today there still are some of these pyramids here, but they look like shit. What the fuck? What is going on here? I guess this is what it looked like in the past right here. But even that is this is in the 1800s or something, 1500s, and it looks like shit. Like, what happened here, bro? Yeah, you can't tell they're perfect geometric patterns unless you view it from the sky. That's true. which kind of raises the question of why do you need a perfect geometric pattern for like a fort? Well, I mean, you could build it pretty arbitrarily, and also why would you build a canal system like that? One hemisphere is hot, then the other is cold. Flip the poles, and the heat in the magnetosphere creates a new hot hemisphere. Well, that could be a good point. I definitely think the poles flipped in the past. Especially with all like every ancient map I've seen has Antarctica labeled as Terra Fuego. Now, Terra del Fuego is the land of fire, and there's no reason for you to call Antarctica land of fire unless the poles flipped, which you're right. So if the poles flipped, that means the North Pole would have been colder, or maybe just a different part of the Earth would have been colder, but who knows? La Pyramide du Falcon. So yeah, there's this Falcon pyramid. Oh, the pyramids are being eroded. Scientists don't want it. Fire and giants. Yeah, I mean, the giants is pretty obvious to me that they were definitely around. There were definitely some fucking giants going down. So yeah, I've been trying to like map out all these star forts. So this one's Fort Paducah, or Fort Anderson in Paducah, Kentucky. And like there's zero detail they really give here compared to, I mean, they probably could have taken a picture of it at this point. But you'll see it's like perfect symmetrical display. We've got these like weird cylinders here. Doesn't show any cannons or nothing. But maybe the cannons were like inside these cylinders as like some type of ball bearing system. And it's pointed north, so I like kind of looked at it from an angle. If you kind of turn your head and like where this is north, and it kind of gives you a different perspective on it. I don't know. But yeah, it's Paducah, Kentucky. So then I looked at this, and it has all of the classic star fortage that we know and love at this point. This is interesting. U.S. Marine Paducah Hospital, Kentucky, has a big old obelisk there. Just of course another Civil War fort. We're going to search for some Sir Francis Drake. And this is a plan of the city of York, the common council of the city of York. This particular inscribed by their obliged humble servant Francis Drake, 1736. What? So, dude was by Francis Drake in 1736. Okay, I thought Francis Drake was from the 1500s. Unless there's a different Francis Drake running around, which I guess there is. Let's just take a look at this big old Tartarian building. All these antennas. Oh yeah, I'm gonna link my Twitch channel because I have nobody on the Twitch and a bunch of people out here, so we'll balance it out. But yeah, so what do we see? We see fully built out 1700s high-tech spires, bridges. Looks like a little star fortage almost. Don't know what's going on there. Big old castle inside the star fort walls. I always like zooming out on these pictures, these like tiny inscriptions. I'm guessing this is like Alaska, And this is Tartaria. Nothing on the North Pole. A lot of windmills. I wonder what the windmills are for. To the Common Council, to the Common Council of the City of York, this plate is particularly inscribed by their obliged humble servant, Francis Drake. Like the way they write it, Francis Drake. So fucking funny. 1736, yo. I haven't watched this this Robert Sepper video yet, but I'm pretty excited for it. Mystery Religion of Atlantis. He gets look at this, 46,000 views in a day. He's got 59,000 views in one day, bro. He's got 300,000 subs, bro. I'm not gonna say I'm jealous, but I think he blacklisted me from his chat. Because I always try to like promote my videos in his chat. I'll be like, hey dudes, come check out my new video about this topic. The only reason I do these little comments on similar channels is because there's like hundreds of people that have been like, hey, just saw your comment on like Martin's video, just here to say hi. You know, love the content. So it's kind of cool. Let's see if we can't find any other interesting forts from around the world. Plan of the town and the fort of Granada. That sounds interesting. Let's open that one up. Military training map. Capture of Fort Henry. Ooh, Philadelphia. Billingsford. So we see, look at that, Star Fortage in Boston, 1775. Right before 1776. So this is how I get so many so many tabs open. I just find these rabbit holes. Like like the closer you look at history, the more holes open up to you, you know. We got 10 people watching. What's up, you guys? Thank you so much for chilling with me and just doing this, doing the thing. I'll get all intimate with you for a sec. So yeah, thanks for chilling, dudes. I was really hungover today because we had a show last night. I was playing guitar and singing and stuff for my buddy's band, and it was great. We had a great turnout. Everybody made a bunch of money. And a lot of cute girls, a lot of cool dudes, you know. So I was feeling it though. We had people over afterwards, and yeah, so it was a late one. It was like till 4 a.m. or something, 4 or 5. But so I was feeling it this morning. I didn't get out of bed till like 5 p.m. almost. I was like waking up, I'd fall asleep, wake up, fall asleep. But I needed it, I guess. I'll probably be in like 3 hours. I'll probably be ready to go for the night. I might go out and you know, just kind of see what's going on, because there's a couple bars that are close by. Comment what you guys did last night. I mean, this has just been a lot of me talking for a little bit. Post a comment. Let me know if you're here. I know there's 10 people watching, so love interacting with y'all. Getting settled in. Getting doiled up. Got a coffee. I got some pasta. Trump is speaking at the moment. Who's Trump? Who is that? I've never heard of such a man. We're gonna go through some. I'm just gonna go through some pictures I have on my desktop. You did the same thing last night, Crunchly, Michael? Did you, you played a show? Or you were just, getting drunk as fuck? Big difference then, mate. So, look at this. So, XXV says 25. So, this is supposedly... But look at these spires, bro. The University of Salamanca. You wish. Oz was researching the Dutch Anglo Wars in Australian waters. Whoa, I'll have to check that out. I jam but don't sing to people, unfortunately. Well, that's fine. I mean, that's cool. Do your thing, bro. Like, just keep at it. You'll get there. Just find some friends that like doing it too. But yeah, just look at some of this shit, bro. 1, 2, 3, 4 of these big old spires with these urns. All these spiky little spires. Looking very, very technological. This is more University of Salamanca. I forgot when I saved these pictures. Maybe November, it looks like. But just taking a gander at that, like, why do you need so much? So my theory on these proportions is that these are for, like, harmonic resonance fields. For, like, you know, sound waves have, like, certain resonant frequencies. I play... In that last band, I play lead. This is another one of these pictures. Pretty crazy. Look at that. Oh yeah. Wish I could sleep till 5. Kids, responsibilities. Yeah, dude. I mean, it was more out of necessity. Wasn't really like a pleasureful sleep. It was like I felt like shit. But this is Milwaukee, Wisconsin, looking very Tartarian. Look at this. They tore down this building. They also tore down this building. But just look, like if you guys tried to count these spires, I don't even think you'd be able to. And of course they had to tear it down. Yeah, dude, so as the old world buildings with those proportions, with the old world organs, you know, combining it with the fountains and the proportion of the building and the type of stone, like, you can only imagine how powerful that would have been. Let's find some more. These are just pictures of me and, this is me at Joshua Tree. San Diego. Yeah, this is more of I forgot what city this was. But look at that, bro. Now what is going on there? Somebody tell me that is these were designed for Jesus. Like this, nothing about this, any of this except 1, 2, 3 things they installed later says Jesus. All of this is functional machine. And always, like, this is where they built it. What happened to all this land? Like, they just built it 20 feet off the ground. So this is just a map showing California as an island. Insula, California. And what do we see? Port of Es Diego. Oh, well, I guess this isn't high enough, but looks like Port Francis Drake. Does this show Quivira? thought this was interesting. This is the two-door rose, which is in the style of a star fort almost. What band do you sound like? We're like some indie hipster band. If you want to check us out on Spotify, I'll link it. Would you guys would you follow? Ether antenna. But what's with the rounded bass? Yeah, that's a good question. The rounded bass. I don't know. So this is the Tudor rose, and then this is the demediated Tudor rose with this spiky flower, and apparently this represents when they like invaded like Wales or Scotland, and it was like the merging of Wales and Scotland, or I don't really know. But I thought this was interesting. So I think this, like this princess is, like one. I think the rose represents her. But like, what is going on with this, guys? Because I've seen so many of these pictures where it's like you see the lines, and then there's like this overlapping of lines, and when you zoom out, like you see that Moira effect, almost as if it was like done by a computer. It doesn't even look like somebody drew this. And they're always doing this, guys. Always crossing their fingers like that. Like some gang sign. They just be dropping that gang sign. But this is what that chick looked like. I think they called her the Ice Princess. This is Elizabeth. But just look at this, guys. Doesn't this look like some crazy high-tech wear? Like, it looks like all this shit has some type of functionality. It's just so intricate. Like, I get it, she's a queen and everything has to be over the top, but... Oh, and this is from the Columbian Exposition in, yeah, Queen Elizabeth, you're right. My bad. The Russians possess cities on the west coast. Yeah. Oh, actually, I think I had a tab open for that very thing that you just mentioned with Russia. Is this it? No, that's France. Dude, I swear to God, I had a fucking tab open with it. Fort Ross. Where the fuck? So this is Fort Ross. It was owned by Russia. But I don't think that's the original building. And they have these shitty cannons, of course, but it's like very Star Fort-like. So yeah, it's kind of northern California. Yeah, what's up, Johnny on the spot? But yeah, Fort Ross, this park receives support. They're a non-profit. Okay, let's try to find an aerial view. Like this is pretty good, but yeah, orbiting Earth in a spaceship. I saw how beautiful our planet. Wait, what? "60 years ago, Soviet cosmonaut Yuri became the first human to travel into space aboard the Vostok 1. Perhaps Gagarin caught a glimpse of Fort Ross Matini?" Oh, okay. I was gonna say... Oh, they have a Twitter page for Fort Ross. Is there a Russian river in California? I'm not sure. I'll look it up. Yeah, Russian River in California. Good call. Goes down a good chunk of it. Okay, so it's called Ashkawana. Water, East Water Place. Water to the east. And as Bidupi, Big River. You travel far north of the Russian River. forced them to turn back towards Monterey. Slavic name Slavyanka appears Russian American Company chart in 1817. The Russian American Company, look at that. The Spanish called it San Ignacia, referred to it as Rio Grande. The river takes current name from Ivan Kuzkov, Russian American company who explored the river in the 1800s, established Fort Ross 10 miles north. Russians called it Slavyanka, meaning Slav River. So, Tartarian River. They established 3 ranches near Fort Ross. The redwoods that lined the banks drew loggers to the river. Include Misalalco. Let's look up one of these. The Kaztromanakani Ranch. So all we're going to get is just little references, maybe a map. Russian River, California. That's a beautiful painting. So yeah, weirdness why the Russians are in Cali before Americans in the 1800s. Like, what's that all about? Ancient walls running along the California coast as well. Nobody knows who built them. Well, yeah, it's interesting you said that because I found this. I think I saved a screenshot of it, maybe. But anyways, there was just like there were these prehistoric walls. Prehistoric walls in like the middle of Kentucky that they dated to like 5,000 years ago. So just shit like that, you're right, dude, where it's like these like prehistoric out of place artifacts, you know. What do I think of the Pioneer DDJ 400 controller? Just for some Madhouse sessions. Dude, that's a fucking sweet mixer. I mean, any Pioneer controllers, you're probably going to do it. Hey, of course, Johnny on the spot. Yeah, dude, I had to do something today. I felt like shit all day, so if I didn't go live, I don't know how I would justify. But this is the University of Coimbra. I thought that was pretty cool. Never seen anything quite like that before. Yeah, I think that's Portugal. Okay, I just linked our Spotify, the band which we were playing with last night, Colorblind Chameleon. So go follow that if you're interested about the music thing. But this is in Louvre, France. I thought that was interesting. This is like I think it's a Van Gogh, but you know, like what's going on here? These glowing spires, right? It's also weird how like this doesn't seem like consistent with like this, right? So it's like the shading is kind of like even the attention to detail in the boat compared to like these circles. Like, why does this look like shit? This whole thing just looks like shit. Like, what? Why would you do that? Why would you? I don't know. Just seems weird to me. Doesn't even look good. This is a view from the Exposition Universelle in Paris, France. (1889). Look at that. So these are all supposedly made out of plaster of Paris, right? Which is this type of plaster that they made buildings from, I guess, or the excuse for tearing down buildings. They say it was made of plaster. But I think it's just an excuse to tear down these beautiful structures. And you see this old tower right here. Crazy spire, crazy spire, crazy spire, crazy spire, crazy antenna. So, yeah, definitely a focus on antennas for some reason. This is just a cool map I found. Or maybe this is from the encyclopedia or the atlas, but just look at all these million antennas in the city. Constantinople. When I look at this picture, I just imagine the water being much lower and what it might look like then. Oh, are you speaking about like this or this? Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, maybe here. Yeah, well, I mean, I know like Krishna's temple was like lost for many years. This is the University of Bologna, where Harry Potter was filmed. And I was watching Harry Potter the other day, and I was thinking about like all the crazy antenna and technology in the buildings, and yeah, I don't know. And then I was watching Big Fish last night, which is I've never heard of it before, but it had all of these all these tie-ins to giants, you know, which I didn't know. So this is Tartarix from 1889. Returns to his old realm. Quivira reigns for a day. The people showed a disposition to scatter for amusement in the afternoon. There's something of the fairgrounds. The ball sack of were crowded, and the whole city was bent on having a good time. It was thought best to abandon the opera house meeting, and those who cursitory repaired to the State House on account of the brokerage of the grazed stand in the Capitol grounds. In the morning, the address were in Representative Hall instead during the early afternoon. Capitol Yard. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to take time and kind of break this one down. But let's look into that Nebraska. Is this Lincoln? Yeah. So Lincoln, Nebraska Opera House, 1800s, 1880. Yeah, pretty much exactly what I would expect. Some crazy antennas. Mud flooded building. Old school castle. So this is what Lincoln looked like in 1880. This is the highest picture we're getting, really. But, I mean, even from this low quality picture, we can kind of see what the fuck is going on there. This is 1880? Jesus. Like, what are you building the castle for right there? Horse and buggy, you know? This is Madison, Wisconsin. Big old spires. Taken from the water cure, Lake Monona. Some domage. Have I looked into Stuffed Beagle's theory that several of the U.S. cities like Atlanta were viaducted? No, I haven't. Can you point me in the right direction? So this is a cool map. I want to get the full size picture of this though. Let's see if we can't. So yeah, just get a gander of this. What the fuck? Got all these domes. Big ol' octopus. Let's see if we can't get a better picture of this. Nice. The rolling mills at Bayview. Wow, look at that. What the fuck? 9th and Cedar Street. Down the river from the North Street Bridge. Looking south from Schlitz Park. So this is the river. Some type of like lift bridge. This is the lake over here. The buildings at street level are actually 3 or 4 stories below. Oh, I see what you're saying. It's basically saying that the streets are elevated panels, the entire city. That's why there's an extensive underground. That's interesting. I mean, it would make sense. And there's this thing called Lake Emily in Milwaukee, where they like built on top of. They built a ancient like Greco-Roman building on top of a lake, supposedly. Let's see if I can pull up something about Lake Emily. I think you guys would like it. So this is like the only picture of Lake Emily. In the early 40s, this is supposedly what it looked like. River, big old lighthouse, and then a lake right here. Lake Emily. So what did they do? They built on top of it. So this is apparently like going down into the basement where, and this is the building they put on top of a whole lake, okay? They didn't drain it. They didn't fill it in. They built a Greco-Roman palace on top of the lake, okay? For life insurance. So what I think this is all about is probably some type of, maybe like the columns harness the waves or the water underneath and use it as like some type of like superconductor. But it's all buried. This is where it's located. So definitely some weirdness going on here, guys. And this is 1860, and they already have big canals dug, kind of like redirecting the water. Like, it's not an easy task. So this is the 1835 map. Solomon Juno. Milwaukee's still spelled with an IE here. 1835. And they don't even mention Lake Emily anywhere in here. So these are some stuff underground in Milwaukee. Lake Emily buried just underneath the Northwestern Mutual building. Huge log piles driven into the lake bed. Right? They always have this. It's like, okay, so how was Vienna made? Or oh, not Vienna. What am I thinking of? Venice. Venice is the floating city, but surely buildings do not float. They sit on top of 10 million trunks, so wooden piles. So I think Venice requires closer look. Yeah, imagine the water level being lower. You're right. This crazy architecture. There's a church in my town that looks just like this. Crazy basilica. You need 100 statues, right? It's built on a swamp, flooding. Is there a stall in Micronesia that is constructed of... Oh, an atoll. Under maritime law, it's considered a ship at sea. That's interesting. Oh, is this what you think about Nam Madal? These basalt pillars. So I'm not entirely sure what to make of these basalt pillars because these are supposedly made of lava, right? This perfect hexagonal shape. But it's almost like they just cut them. They just cut them right here, you know, and use them for materials. So I don't, what causes that? I know they say lava, but I don't believe that for a second that this was made by lava. So who knows what's going on with that? Almost kind of looks like a little fort. Basalt columns of former church. Ancient logs. Yeah, dude, that's kind of my opinion too. Or maybe ancient giant tree cells, because like if you look at like if you look at what a plant cell looks like, they're this hexagon, right? So imagine that, but in you know, what if it was a massive plant, right? So if this is, you know, because this is very ordered, and this is life. Like life has an intelligence, and it forms in these like perfect hexagonal shapes. So if you had like a giant tree, its cells would probably be that size. You know, if you had 1,000-foot tree, well, these, in comparison to the 1,000-foot tree, one of these little shafts is just a cell, just like a shoot. Vorngo, what's up, Hamza Makuza? Hexagonal shapes are common in plant cell biology. Yep. Someone been watching Ewar. I don't know what Ewar is. Dude, you're on a good wavelength tonight. Thanks, dude. Yeah, I'm just kind of flowing. It's pretty cold outside, so it's kind of not really inspired. But the Giant's Tower reminded me of this myth of these giant trees. Yeah, like these big buttes or mesas where it's Lucifer came down and chopped down the giant cedars of Lebanon, right? The cedars of God. So yeah, it was once said that a battle occurred between the demigods and the humans over a beautiful divine forest of cedars near Mesopotamia. The forest was protected by Sumerian god Enlil and was completely barred of its trees when human entered its grounds 47,000 years ago, after winning a battle against the guardians of the forest. The story also tells that Gilgamesh used the cedar wood to build his city. Right? Cedar wood was exploited by the Phoenicians, Israelites, Babylonians. The Phoenicians using cedars needed timbers for their ships. Oh wait, so in the Bible, Solomon procured cedar timber to build in the Temple of Jerusalem. Hadrian claimed these forests as imperial domain, and destruction of the cedar forest was temporarily halted. So this is the temple that was supposedly constructed with the cedars of Lebanon. Let's get another Grateful Dead. So yeah, just a little rabbit hole. Maybe we could find something. So yeah, open thy doors, O Lebanon, that the fire may devour the cedars. Mighty are the Bashar. He moves his tail like a cedar. His sinews thighs are tightly knit. So what I'm gonna do now is, oh wow, that's cool. Gardens of the Gods. It does kind of look magical. And all these rocks formations have this slant. It's everywhere in the southwest US. This like angle. It's almost like gravity was like here. Or like gravity was here and then it shifted this way. Like everything slid to the left or something. Get away. Walk away. But let's go look up Lebanon basalt. See if there's any. Too bad. Oldest living trees on Earth are found in the Sierra Nevada mountains in California, pretty much where the seeds of the Devil's Tower would have fallen. Wow, good point, bro. That's a crazy temple theory. Love it. In your long video showing the atlas, I noticed several of the pages had illustration with trees being cut down. Yeah, dude, and also there was like this before and after kind of thing, right? Where it was like they would show on one, it would be like the trees were standing, and then on the other side, it's like the trees were then cut down and it was all stormy and shit. So I think it might be just a metaphor, right? Where it's like, where it's like, okay, so this happened, so then caused the Great Flood or something, you know. But they like cloak it in metaphor, right? So what was the city of Gilgamesh? Uruk. So he used the basalt columns, or the basalt tree, or the trees of Lebanon to build the city Uruk. So this is what it would have looked like. Supposedly. I always felt like these reconstructions were like so half-assed. It's like I'm sure they just left it like that. Like they didn't have any decoration. They didn't have any, like, you know what I mean? Like, come on now. This is what it looks like now. So, holy shit, bro. Like, this is perfect evidence for the melted building theory, right? Because this is accepted mainstream narrative that this is the town of Uruk of Mesopotamia. Now, where have we heard the word Uruk before? Uruk-hai, which is from Lord of the Rings, which I think is also like a soft disclosure. So they were brutal warriors of Middle Earth and the strongest orcs in Isengard. They assaulted, conquered. So this sounds just like the theory or the story of Gilgamesh, right? Where it's like they defeated the guardians of the forest, right? and they conquered the city and destroyed the trees of Lebanon. Okay, and it also has this biblical concept of they were bred by some wizard, dark arts in the pits. So it's almost like, because the theory that like humans are like some type of cross alien breed, right? There were elves, so people of the birthplace of Gilgamesh, Uruk. Let's just go with this for a sec. They were how the orcs came to being. They were elves once, taken by dark powers, mutilated, a ruined and terrible form of life, and now perfected by fighting Uruk-hai. So, what the fuck? So I don't know where else to go on that rabbit hole, guys, but so with the melted building things, guys, I think John Levi should take a look at this, because we're always looking for evidence of melted buildings, and they always kind of look like this, right? Where they have these same features. This is kind of what the base of the Sphinx looks like, this like water running down it. And it also looks just like that French pyramid, does it not? Juries will probably take care of themselves. Oh yeah, so it doesn't it look just like me? Looks just like this French step pyramid, guys. So it's all connected, dude. The World's Fairs, the pyramids, Gilgamesh, it all ties together in some weird fucking way. I don't know, dude. I don't know what the fuck. So Gilgamesh was definitely a giant too. But yeah, so Lake Emily, small lake on old maps just ashore of downtown. Instead of draining the lake, they put a building on top of it with huge log pilings driven into the lake bed. The water level is maintained by facility team, because if the logs dry out, they'll rot and the building will fall. The only glimpse of Lake Emily is through small holes. Weird. UWM utility tunnels. Many students have probably heard rumors of a network of tunnels under the campus. They're all true. The tunnels constructed in 1968 connect various school buildings with the central heating and chilling plant. There are miles of pipe that run them through, carrying steam to heat the buildings and other utilities. Tunnels were inspected and repaired in 2010, so students can try to break into them for many years to come. Not that we recommend this. Wow. Didn't know about that. Miller Brewery. So yeah, you'll notice that the brewery narrative is pretty big. From the wiki, trees are first mentioned in the Epic of Gilgamesh. The cedars of God are mentioned as a divine shady forest fought over by the demigods. It is said that the expanse was once protected by Mesopotamian gods, and Gilgamesh himself uses cedar to build his great city. Yeah, and so then his great city is ultimately Uruk, which looks like a melted city now. So, Shaker Cigar Bar Restaurant, basement. Familiar with this? The building sits on top of an old cemetery. An 8-year-old girl died when she fell out of an apple tree on the property. A prostitute was murdered in the penthouse, and 2 men were reportedly murdered in the basement of the building during Prohibition. Every part of this building is creepy, but the basement and even some of the employees refuse to go in there. If you're curious, you can book a tour to explore the basement, its history, and the rest of the building too. So these people are ghost hunting at the rave. Just these huge pools. Pretty weird. These are the tunnels underneath. Pretty dark and shitty. Interesting that the demigods fought the humans. Yeah, dude, the fights of the demigods, that's interesting to me too. And also like the fighting of the gods and the demigods and the creation of half human, half god hybrids is so weird. Like the fact that that's in our human history, what the fuck? Just some high-tech crazy shit going on down here. So this is the old cemetery, Calvary Cemetery and Crypt. Downtown steam tunnels. The walls caved in. So even stuff like this, dudes, like Havenwood State Forest, north of the city, has storied history. Used to be a courthouse of corrections, army barracks, prisoners of war, and a Nike Ajax missile site. It's no wonder that there were tunnels dug under the park. Well, many of these had steam pipes, but it's not known why or how the tunnels were built. It's likely the tunnels connected the barracks and other buildings. Don't get any urbex ideas, though. Any tunnels that have already been sealed or destroyed are filled with asbestos. Well, it's lame. So there you go, just some more tunnelage. So yeah, this is the Northwestern Mutual building. Has that crown pattern. Almost looks like the lizard. Wow, you know what this looks like? This looks like... Okay, so we see this seven-headed figure. We see this, 7 snakes. We see this, Shisha, all these snakes in this like crown-like pattern. And that's exactly what we see on all these old world buildings. The same exact pattern. 2 rotating toruses in opposite directions with an extra one to balance it out. So what do we see here? All these granite. This is where Lake Emily was supposedly built on top of. This is the building, and they have these ram's heads. Now, I don't know if you can see it on here, but at the base of this one is 4 ram's heads as well, but one of them is black. Is that cool? I mean, this building looks just like a World's Fair building. They have all this concrete, right? So this is leading down to... So this is called Little Egypt, bro. Like, why would you name a basement staircase Little Egypt? Like, a sweeping double staircase offers entry to the north building from an open courtyard. These days it sits eerily in a remarkable state of preservation beneath the northern edge of the atrium. They call it Little Egypt because of the architecture of the staircase. It's a grand staircase that you used to be able to walk down to an outside garden. We're 20 feet or so below grade. So this is... So look, hear me out, guys. So this staircase that leads down, that used to lead down to a courtyard, is 20 feet below ground level. So below this grade, 20 feet down, used to exit out into a courtyard. Now what is it? Well, ground level's here. So what happened? So this is what Lake Emily looks like. This is all they give us now. That's what Lake Emily is. You have to go down in there to look in. I think that's marble. Yeah, you're right. It was marble. So, you know what I mean? So this is, it looks like it always had some function. Because if sea level was 20 feet below this, or ground level was 20 feet below this, and then below that was Lake Emily. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way they built this without some shit going down. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. I'm gonna look into this deity, Shisha. Maybe we can get some more clues of what's going on here. So why does it have so many heads? Generally depicted with massive form that floats coiled in space on the ocean of bliss, to form the bed of which Vishnu lies, 5-headed, 7-headed, 10-headed serpent, more commonly a 1,000 head, or 5,000 head, or 10,000 head, or 50,000 head, or 100,000, or even 500,000 headed, 1,000,000 headed serpent, sometimes with each wearing an ornate crown. Like, what? What does that mean, dudes? The king of Nagas. Why would you need to show it with 12,000 heads, 1,000,000 heads? Unless it's like a net of Indra kind of depiction. So Vishnu, resting on all these different forms. It's got all these different... So I don't know what's going on here, guys. The closer you look into this stuff and like the connection, like even this has the same kind of pattern of this like crown of the Naga. And it looks like they have this type of device of some sort with this type of crest. Yeah, it is fractal. You're right. So that's why they made the specification between 7 or 100 or 1,000 or 1,000,000 or 100,000, because it's explaining the fractal without saying that. You know what I mean? But now how do you apply it? Like, how do I apply this information of this 1,000-headed dragon of the fractal? I think it might be like a Kundalini thing. So Shisha, especially those relating to mathematical calculation, implies the remainder, that which remains when all else ceases to exist. Kind of reminds me of like pi, like 3.14159129114, you know. Oh yeah, guys, it's getting good. I gotta turn my heater on, it's pretty cold in here. Sweet William O. All right. So this is the child of Shishanaga. Daughter of the king of serpents, and married to Meguranda, oldest son of Ravanada, Whoa, look at that. He's got the same thing going on as Shishanaga. No mention. It appears later versions. Sorry, I'm just sharing some posts from the show last night. Let's see if you guys can see them. Let's see. It's me. Alright. So yeah, this kind of brings about something I've been interested about for a while. Where it's, I don't know, some of these hats and these crowns and stuff look very functional, and almost like they could have been some type of technology. Like, I don't think I've seen anybody like really talk about this, but I don't understand why we wouldn't. You know, they have this like infinity. Like, why wouldn't we do this? Like, have some type of high tech resonance on our head. It seems like a no-brainer to me. Like, have some type of rotational thing with a resonance field. I don't know. I don't have any proof for that, but you know, what if this was technology? You know what I mean? Like, this one for this snake, this one for this snake, this one for this snake, this one for this one. And then by like maybe using these devices in coordination with it, you know what I mean? I mean, I guess it could be a metaphor too, but it almost looks like there's like wires running around it, does it not? Like, I don't know. Antique helmets ain't helmets. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking now. I don't know how much. I don't know how much like people are spending millions of dollars on on a helmet for like a day or whatever. Let's try to look at some of these, see if we can find any gold in here. What if the snakes are data connecting cables? Yeah, I mean, I could see that too. Like, whatever it is, I just got to raise the question of like, what is going on here? So this is Charleston and its defenses. See a lot of man-made waterfront batteries. These might be star forts. Fort Sumter. That might be something we gotta look into. Or represent wireless connections to other knowledge centers. Yeah, like maybe like a different like jewel for a different part of the helmet or for the head or the brain or whatever. for Sumter. So yeah, Fort Sumter, probably a star fort. It would have been damn near impossible to do in the 1800s to make this in the middle of the lake. It's got all of the. I think these were some type of functional things, guys. I don't really buy for a second the Civil War narrative as much anymore. I think it's much more likely that they were like harnessing the water. And maybe these wheels in some way. With the cannons. But you'll see these all over the place. Like, you got Abe Lincoln, who might have been a giant. You know. Old map. HH, for some reason that makes me think of Flight of the Navigator. I'm not sure what that is. So this is Boston, 1 year before America was established. And it's a plan of the British lines on Boston Neck. Okay. It looks very Star Fortage. Broad Bridge and Gate. And a lot of these old maps they always say plan, like, but they always have so much description and detail that make me wonder, like, is it really a plan or is this what it looked like? Look at another plan in sections, unless they changed the name of the word. But look at Starfort at Billingsfort. So 40 feet above sea level. And then so the Star Fort goes up 16 feet, or up 7.6 feet. Goes down 18 feet. Very odd. Looks like on the back there's some type of map. It'd be sweet if we could get that. And plan of the rebel fort marked yellow. I've heard Abraham Lincoln was part indigenous American, but not tribal. A band of Indians and free slaves lived in the mountains where he is from. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I know he was like 7 feet tall, so it's the only reason I say he was a giant. And he did mention giants in his like farewell speech. So it looks like Philadelphia could have had some Star Fortage as well. Right here. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ross Bent, but he's done a lot of like interesting research into like the alchemical metaphors surrounding Philadelphia. Definitely worth checking out. Looks like a star fort. Looks like one here. So this is 1762. Plan of Granada. And what do we see here? A star fortage. Can I repeat the name, please? Oh, yeah, sure. Are you talking about Ross Ben? He's a little bit more out there, but but I really like his stuff. He does some research on like the Susquehanna River and like that alchemy. Every deep which overflow in the raining season. I don't even know where Granada is. Is this in America? London? Granada? Oh, it's a country. I'm out west, so really interested in the California Island Giants. Well, if you're interested in the Giants, I mean, first thing that comes to mind is like when I was researching like Tartary, like in the San Francisco Exposition, you know, this came to mind. San Francisco has their team is called the Giants. And then also they had these giant cities. The Golden Gate. Dude, I didn't even hear about this one. This might have been in the 60s or something. Like, could you imagine doing something like this today? It's like, yeah, we're going to build ancient Greece for a month, and then we're tearing it down. It just doesn't make any fucking sense, guys. None of this adds up. And does this look like a big plaster building falling down to you, or does this look like a big ass brick building falling down? Or that has partially fallen and it's stopped? You know what I'm saying? And we see spire, 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 crazy spire. Look at all these poles. It's hard to keep track of all the details because there's so many. Angel on top. This type of like umbrella with all these things. So I think this was originally a giant city. A city of giants or 4 giants. Because you see right here, boom, boom. This is how tall the people are. You know. And this is about how tall the doorway is. So if you were really making a temporary structure, it would be 1/10 the scale. Mind and Veil channel has extensive white balding giants, yeah. And that's why there's New York Giants, right? Soil liquefaction, San Francisco Giants. Yes, dudes, you're all right. You guys are all right. And this is, look at it. This is what they replaced this building with. Is now this. Just a big shitty building. So, another YouTuber, I think his name is Alex. This also ties into your Giants, my dude. So the Hubbard Giants of the Pacific Northwest. This was Portland's baseball team. You know, another team called the Giants. And let's see. The way I came about learning about that was somebody commented. Somebody commented about this exposition near where they live, and it was called the Lewis and Clark Exposition and Oriental Display. What a name. And this is what it looks like, y'all. Is this not the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen? Speaking of giants. And they had hot air balloons. They had... So it's not only this. So even if you just ignored all of the splendor of this, like, there's still cities over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. These big old cities that aren't even part of the fair. And then we have these. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. They have 50 buildings that they made for this expo. And they made like 80 grand off of it, supposedly. It was open for a whopping 4 months. You know what I mean? What the fuck? 5 months, 4 months? Yeah, I've seen that sumo video. I'm not sure. It looks fake to me. But with the giants, the giant walking down the street. It looks fake to me. It was supposedly made for like some movie. I don't know. But cool. I'll check that out. Stuff Beagle 2-hour video on Little People in Giant World. Like even details like this, y'all. Like what is going on here? So you have like Lewis and Clark in America walking into the sun. Like in celebration. Seems so weird. But this was 1906. And they all have the same format, right? Golden domes. And, you know, the same thing. Plaster. Temporary. And they have like the water chute, which is in all these world fairs and theme parks, supposedly. These like weird Eiffel Tower looking things. And like this bridge. Now this lake is dried up, y'all. I don't even think this lake exists anymore. So, and they built this huge log cabin supposedly, which burned down, of course. Just look at this, guys. Like the landscaping alone would have taken years. West side of the trail. And same with this shit. Look at this. The entry columnade. Like you couldn't just... They could have built this half as tall with half as many antennas and nobody would have batted an eye. And they have airships, bro. They had airships, dude. And it's interesting because these are the type of buildings that we think people traveled there by airship. We think these towers were in coordination with these airships. And just look at this campus, bro. What the fuck? It's all built on Guilds Lake. Just so ridiculous. So let's see what Guilds Lake today, Portland. Look at all these people. This supposedly Guilds Lake in 1904, 1 year before this, and now it's this. Magic. Like, what is even going on here? Jeez. Just a bunch of mud. Guilds Lake area 1930 after they took everything down. Portland's Water Wonderland. Oh yeah. A rented paradise. The flinty-eyed businessmen were looking on planning the exposition and had a firm purpose in doing so, to make money now, promote Portland, so they could make more later. They were not about to spend an extra dime in the operation, so when they got started preparing the event, they didn't buy the land it was on. They leased it. Sure. Like, what is this shit, bro? Like, and look at all these lights. Like, who's even going here after dark? Like, how many people are really going to the fair at midnight, you know? Cost them millions to make this shit, and they made 80 grand. And most of the fairs didn't make money, y'all. They always have these big old searchlights. Like, where is all this electricity coming from? Look at this one. So this is the National Register building. Gotta have some goddess statue of a giant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then this is like the president at the time. You know what I mean? So it's like they built this whole fair, and instead of putting the president right here, they put just a picture of him right here. Like, it doesn't make any sense, bro. Like, none of this makes sense. So we'll bop back over here for a bit. Anybody still watching, say hi. Goddess Columbia. Yeah, dude. Goddess Columbia for sure. I mean, there's so many different narratives on like who the goddess is that I don't even I don't know what to make of it, because if they say it's Columbia, that's fine. Yo, what's up, Oz? You know, but there's always these different narratives of who the goddess is and who you know, what their name is or whatever. And it's always Columbia or something like that. But like in Milwaukee, there is this statue of Germania which went missing. Now, why would they have a 30-foot tall statue of Germania in the 1800s? And another thing I just found out was the Great Depression, or one of the long depressions, was in 1893. You know what happened in 1893? The Chicago World's Fair. You know what happened in 1894? The San Francisco World's Fair, the Midwinter Exposition. So it's like, if we're in the biggest drought of our economic lives, why would we be putting just so much ridiculous energy into fairs which didn't make money, which were the most hubris structures ever invented, that we've never created buildings like these again, Not even for a 6-month period of time. Not even out of plaster or wood or cheap materials. So I don't know, the World's Fair thing, bro. It's like I didn't even want to go down this rabbit hole, but the rabbit hole wants me to go down it, bro. Because they're creating that movie with Keanu Reeves about the Devil in the White City, and to me, the Devil in the White City is the businessman. You know, all these businessmen who come up to these world fairs, they do a ceremony and then they tear down the buildings. So I think that's the Devil in the White City. The White City is these fairs, which we'll call them fairs for the whatever for the sake of this. You come to the White City of the fair, you do it, say a couple words, shake some hands, show some gadgets, and then say, well, yep, that was it. Now we're tearing them down. And to other people, you know, they might not even know what the fuck's going on. They might be like, oh, cool fair. So I think it would be interesting to find some like lost diary of somebody who went to the world fairs or who was involved with them, where they talk about this kind of stuff or disclose it, you know. But I guess we'll have to wait another day for that, because, you know, where are we gonna find that? If anybody has has an idea, let me know. Text the girl back real quick. Highly recommend. It's an interesting in-depth study of the 1983 or 1893. Are you talking about Are you talking about The Devil in the White City? I know it was written in the 2000s or something, but I think the metaphor is still pertinent. Yeah, I have the book. I have The Devil in the White City. But I haven't finished it. I want to add it to my my list of books I've read, but we're working on it. We're working on it. And even this, bro, like the dating on these, I don't know how much I trust this. Because this looks totally different than this. Looks totally different than these. Looks totally different than this and this. What's up, 12 people? Drop a comment or a thumbs up if you're enjoying this or you're having fun or you're here. Oh, wait. Am I still in the... Oops, I'm sorry. So let's see if we can't find... There was this one picture that looked like it was almost in color. There's only 48 pictures of this whole fucking fair. Can you believe that? 48 pictures. And in a lot of them, there ain't nobody here. So this is supposedly the Oriental Palace. Doesn't look Oriental to me. Like, what the fuck? Forestry building. Like, I could believe that they built this log cabin. I'm not, like, really questioning that. The California building. Let's take a look. Carnival of Venice. Oh, we have an interview with somebody who was there, bro. Agnes. That would be sweet to hear. Wow. Can you believe it, y'all? You can get an actual... So we're gonna dive into this Lewis and Clark. I think I'm gonna make a video on it. This is the ticket, stockholder's ticket, souvenir. Good for one admission during the month of June. It's gonna take forever to load. Centennial Ode, written by Abigail Scott. Well, yet the 19th century was young. The son of freedom was born with prophetic ken, discerned this distant west, and straight out sprung, through magic power of his official pen, an expedition whose results shall last as long as freedom's flag shall float before the blast. Whoa. And then, to make the prophecy complete, an Indian mother led it the devious way, foreshadowing women's place, which man shall greet, without a protest in a hasting day, when womanhood, benignant, wise and free, shall lead him to yet greater heights and strength and victory. As through the vista of 100 years, we backward turn to the Atlantic shore, our hearts athrob and eyes suffused with tears, almost in hearing of Pacific's roar, the then and now so closely crowd the scene, that time and distance both but dimly intervene. Long ere this nation's birth, a master hand, with mighty purpose no man foreknew, these mountains, rivers, hills, and dales with planned, and spread in matchless majesty and view, we now behold of forest, lake, and plain, evolved through countless ages of heavy main, 100 strenuous years ago. Ah, then, so distant were we from our country's heart, that darkest Africa appealed to men, as being nearer each commercial mart. Then Mandan district, and this sunset land, was farther from their border homes than India's coral strand. No steamer had plowed the sea or stream, no flying ship had been trained to cleave the air over all of earth, and no tamed electrical gleam was chained to a duty by man's charioteer. No cable was laid beneath the sea, and telegraph and telephone alike were yet to be, and trade commerce and in infancy awaited ingenuity of man to bring them forth to full utility, to build a track for iron horse to span the lengthened trail on which blazed the mark of valiant Captain Lewis and intrepid Captain Clark. As here from lands anew and afar, and seen the works of man with these beauteous grounds, which water, air, earth were taxed to glean, and placed before us midst these sights and sounds. Let every soul in sweet soliloquy in reference contemplate this nation's destiny. From each bejeweled, bleak Alaskan height, from hot Hawaii's glittering sands, from Puerto Rico's sunshine bright, from Manila's sea-girt lands, our starry flag in every breeze unfurled proclaims that freedom yet shall reign supreme over all the world. Kinda weird. Kinda fucking weird, y'all. this is what I'm intrigued by. What the fuck? So there's this queen. Almost looks like a giant. All these like Spanish soldiers. Weird witches' hats. Like these look pretty aged. I don't know what's going on here, guys. This looks like a painting or something. I wonder if this says something that we could like kind of dive in on. Something FER 10. Something FRES. Fressy? What does Fressy mean? Carnival of Venice. California building. Like, I mean, this isn't even that crazy. Like, this is actually believable. I guess I could see them building this. But I don't see them building any of the other buildings. Crazy light displays. And like, keep in mind, these are all laced with electric lights everywhere on all of these. These are all lights, because when we see nighttime pictures, they're all lit up. Also, we got 15 people in the chat. Somebody say something. Nobody said anything for like 10 minutes in chat. It's kind of freaking me out. It's been 15 minutes since anybody said anything. We got 11 people watching. Come on now. Let me know if you're here. Let me know where you're from, watching from. Let me know what you're watching. What you're doing on this night. Those stairs and the slope scream mud flood. Yeah, bro, that's what I'm saying. So it's shit like this. I don't really know for sure what went down, but I just know some shit went down, because like this building, not super impressive. This one though, and this one, pretty crazy. These big antennas. And then not just that, but you need an urn every 5 feet. Remember, how could you forget? And look at these trees in the background. They kind of look all fucked up. I wonder if something happened. And this big old urn with these dead flowers. Like, this doesn't even look intentional almost. Raises a lot of questions. Golden Gate Exposition. Yo, what's up, Johnny? Yeah, I know people are here. I'm just saying. It's kind of lonely. I know it's Saturday night. I was like, I think I might go out in an hour or so. So I'll probably just do this till I go. I don't really know. This chick I'm talking to stopped replying, so. Let's see. St. Lawrence River. This is Montreal. What's up, Lord? Lord Sri Sri Hade Hade. Oh, what do we see? We see a fucking star fort. So here you have Antarctica is labeled Terra Australis, which is weird. What does this say? Insula Ilas ad Fretu Magellan, Francis Drake Possuit. Verum thro Claudistan, Hasin Oms I Raxament, Fitsum Solumnado Affirmastis, Si Phylam Omnis, I Dracum. Wait, what does it say? Indibil est Dracum tempestabis ibis lucantasi. So I get these comments all the time from people. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what anything is, but like people talking about like the Earth and the flat Earth and ball Earth and plasma light projection of Earth. Sun is the polar opposite and what the moon is. So I don't know. Like, I don't really I never claim to know what the fuck is going on. I just am out here speculating, you know what I mean? Like, I never claim to know for sure what's going on. I just like to ask questions. So if anybody ever says that I'm this or that, like, they don't know, 'cause I don't know. I'm just out here looking at old maps. That's all I do. This one's interesting. So this guy's like asking this tree, or he's like asking the sky for something, and then we see this ladder of an angel coming down, an angel going up, and another one going up, and then big old castle, and then this dude pouring water on there. Kind of weird. Dude's in the bed. She's praying. This guy's an archer. This one, I think, is the story of the sacrifice. I forgot what the dude's name was, but not Cain and Abel. But I don't know what's going on here. This big old fire in this pot. And then he's got his son just sitting there on top of this. It's like a sacrificial lamb. And then this angel's like, hey, don't do that, bruh. But I don't quite understand. It looks like these people are just watching. And the top of the building's burning. Angel's kind of excavating him. We're getting the fuck out of here, bruh. He's carrying something. We need is music, sweet, sweet music, music everywhere, laughing and singing, music singing, dancing in the street. So it's a big storm over the city, and then people fighting over like a tunnel or something. They're eating. They're all eating. All the animals over here eating. All the sheep. I don't know what's going on, guys. Help me break these down if you understand some of these metaphors. Because I don't know. This one's beautiful, though. Tower of Babel. Like, I've never seen such a depiction so cool like this. Looks like they're about to invade the tower. Doesn't look super practical, but we see these big old fires. This is some like Noah's Ark kind of thing. Trees are kind of fucked. Flooded cities. People are running for the hills. Noah's Ark. We see just this. This is great. Cain and Abel. This guy's sacrificing. Oh, maybe we're going the wrong way. So maybe this is first. So him like sacrificing this lamb. Killing his brother. And then they get what they wanted, I guess. It starts raining. He's holding on for dear life. He's carrying his ass out of here. And then the Tower of Babel. People like begging him. So maybe the Tower of Babel was some type of ship or some type of oasis. Like, what is that? What does that say? Can't even go in that close. But look how tiny that writing is. Distant lands. Kind of looks submerged. What are these hanging things? So I'll try to make a video on one of these too. I've been kind of on the World's Fair for a little bit. This would be a breath of fresh air. And then what I would do is I would Google these, like Noom 20 cap, and compare it like these Exodus passages with with the actual passage and with the picture. A megatropolis. Yeah, it looks like Tower of Babel was some type of technological city, especially post-flood. It would be oasis. Also, this picture interested me, like with the snakes. This dude, he's like taking his jacket. Sad. But yeah, dudes, you guys all check out my new video. Yeah, the one on San Francisco. Oh yeah, I was gonna show you this too. This is more San Francisco. More expositions. Like, look at this, bro. Could you imagine? Somebody just commented on I like shared my YouTube video about San Fran on the Flat Earth subreddit, and some dude was like called me crazy, and I was like, bro, this is the Flat Earth sub, like, of all people to call me crazy. It's like, come on now. I thought that would be the last place I'd get called crazy. So, I mean, I'm not saying that I believe or don't believe in either of them, but I thought that was kind of I got a kick out of that. That's just the kind of shit you deal with whenever you put yourself out here. It's people just, you know, everybody's got their own opinion. I don't really care if people give me shit. I'm just speculating. And like, people get upset if I make like a clickbaity title and it doesn't live up to their expectations. It's like, well, fuck. It's either I don't make a clickbait title and nobody watches it. You know, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So, whatever. Let's see what this ocean of bliss is all about. The ocean of milk is the fifth from the center of the 7 oceans. It surrounds the continent known as Krang Cha, the Devas. You gotta consider their motivation. True. Devas, Ashiras work together millennia, churn the ocean, release the nectar of the immortal life. What? Sanskrit word means immortality. What the fuck? Oh, wouldn't you know? So this is the female form of Vishnu holding a pot of Amrita, leaving the Asuras without amongst all the Devas. So all the Devas get this potion, and all the Asuras don't. Well, let's look what this pot looks like. Oh, it looks just like the urn. The urns. All these urns from the fairs. They all have the same exact pattern. They all look like this. So let's see. All the Devas. So all the holy people get to share these urns, this urn magic of permanent life. All supernatural beings are Devas, and also Asuras. Concepts evolve around the Vedic period of benevolent supernatural beings. Mohini is the finest. Yeah, she do be a baddie, huh? So God's name is referred to as a nectar. Permeates the heart. Forever the giver of peace. Drinking this, all hunger is satisfied. So it's like this pulling. This is Angkor Wat. Power-seeking clans. Anti-god, that's interesting. Alright, y'all, I think I'm gonna end the stream. I gotta poop. Thanks for bulling it with me. Yeah, I'll try to have a video out this week. I still have some footage of a World's Fair in Chicago map. It's like an aerial view. It's pretty dope. And then I'll try to view some of these maps and compile them. This one's gonna take a little bit of a while because I gotta translate this. I gotta translate every single one of these pictures from their biblical text, right? And then I gotta compare the map to the present day map and see what lines up still, and what doesn't. So this is gonna be a little bit for this video, but I just want to show you guys some of this stuff because I know you think it's cool. It's interesting. Philadelphia's here. This weird patterns. But yeah, All right, y'all. Thanks for chilling with me.